What's happening, y'all? One of you wrote me and you wanted to know how long to work out. And I think you were actually, let me see if I can find this, because it was a spur of the moment for me to do this one, but I remembered it. He says, "Hey Tyrone, I've been hitting the gym." Woo! Says I've been hitting the gym at my college 2 to 3 times a week, and I work out for about an hour and a half, but I run out of energy and stamina after an hour goes, and I slow down. I end up leaving the gym a little disappointed because I know if I wasn't so tired, I could do more. I suffer from insomnia, so it's hard for me to go to sleep early and wake up early. I wanted to know if you could offer me any suggestions on how to keep my stamina and energy throughout my entire workout. Do you use any supplements or drinks, or do you make any at home? I'd appreciate your advice. Keon. Well, Keon, you're in luck, because the god that wields the dark Mjolnir is sitting on his throne of thought, ready to deliberate and answer your question as the Magnusite movement marches forward to 1 million subscribers. Now, first of all, if you're asking me for advice on working out, I'm assuming that you are pretty new to working out or haven't read much on working out, because the most you're supposed to spend is a half hour to 45 minutes. So the experts say. And that's pretty much all you need. An hour is supposed to be pushing it. Now, I'm trying to figure out how I want to answer this. For years, I only spent a half hour to 45 minutes in the gym. For years. I mean for years, up until maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And that's not counting stretching. Stretching always takes me around an extra half hour after I'm done. So if you all go to my Instagram page, okay, I'll post the link, and I'll also post the link for what I drink before I work out, when I need it. Not all the time, but when I need it. You'll see that there's a picture that I posted on Instagram of me doing pull-ups in my basement. I'm doing them pull-ups off of the I-beam. And that was the shape I was in, going 4 or 5 times a week. So 3 to 5 times a week, only half hour to 45 minutes. That's what I looked like doing that. I was intense. Everything I did was 3 sets of 10. Everything, with a minute in between. But I noticed that even though that gave me a great body at that time, it wasn't enough for development for me. I noticed when I ramped things up, when I started doing like 5 sets of everything and stuff like that, and I'll go over these workouts later on, you know, and all of a sudden I started spending, 2 hours, 3 hours in the gym. All of a sudden my development changed and people noticed. They were like, I remember, I'll never forget, I was going to the club. I went to this Spanish club around my way. I went to, what was it called? Savoy. And when I went, I walked up in there, my boys was like, "Yo, man, the fuck you been doing?" And I was like, holy shit, it's working. Like, I saw it, but I didn't know if it was a change that somebody else was going to notice. And then, I looked at bodybuilders years ago, and a lot of times, I mean, they would spend all damn day in the gym, 3-4 hours in the fucking gym. And I was starting to think to myself, I was like, okay, so it's needed to change your body and to keep something at, at a great condition is really only 3 times a week, half hour to 45 minutes a day. But these people who want these super elite bodies, unless you're extremely gifted genetically, I think you have to spend more than just a half hour to 45 minutes. You look at all the best athletes out there that have all these extremely great bodies. I don't think any of them only train for a half hour. And yeah, I know some of you will say, yeah, but you know, like a boxer, yeah, he'll skip rope, he'll do sprints, or he'll run long distance, you know, he's got to spar, and he's got to do this, he's got to do that. Yeah, but think about how taxing that is on the body. Think about how they'll say, well, any longer than an hour and cortisol is squirting all through your body, is through the roof. You shouldn't do that. You're going to start to overtrain. Muscle's going to break down. But I'm like, I know Floyd Mayweather works out more than 45 minutes. And if any of you know anything about working out, I'm sure you've went into the weight room, you've lifted for like 45 minutes or half hour or an hour and been exhausted. Well, super athletes, and I only want to say super athlete, professional athletes will do a specific thing for an hour. And then they're going to start doing something else. And then something else, and then something else, and then something else. So, I'm going to tell you that if you're just starting out, okay, if I were you, I'd stick to the, 2 to 3 times a week and maybe increase the intensity. 1 minute of rest in between sets, okay? Still keep it short and intense. Unless, I mean, you are advanced and your body is ready for advanced movements and fine tuning and shaping and sculpting. Like, I mean, I've been working out since 1995. So, 3 years ago, 2011, when I started working out really hard and taking myself to an extra level, and like sometimes I would do 6 sets, 7 sets, or whatever I felt was enough to destroy that muscle. See, comes a point where you learn to read your own body, and you know what your own body needs. Like, I swear I'm going to have to start taking my shoulders to sets of 20 for everything, because they, sets of 20 reps, because they don't really respond to 10 reps, to 10 to 12. But I'll notice I'll feel a little soreness or whatever when I take them to 20. But, so what you're seeing in this video is that it's a little bit of bro science mixed with what I've read, what the professionals say. Oh, half hour to 45 minutes is all you need. Yeah, it may be all you need, but it depends on your goals, okay? Now look, look, man, from what I've read, you're supposed to be energized when you leave the gym. You're not supposed to be crawling, because the overtraining will get you. I've experienced overtraining before, and it can make you kind of depressed and tired all the time. And then you're like struggling to go to the gym. The body's saying, please wait. Please give me a few more days of rest. Then let's do it again. Okay? So sometimes you gotta learn to stay out of the gym. Okay? So my advice to you is to still keep going 2 to 3 times. Okay? Or break up your workouts. Okay? Break up your workouts. Like I do arms, legs, chest, back, shoulders, rest the next 2 days. Sometimes I take a day of rest in between, because arms, legs, and then chest, my body is really destroyed after those 3 days. So I need to rest before I come back and I do my back, and then I do shoulders, okay? I split everything up. That way I don't have to spend a long ass time in the gym on just one, a couple of body parts. Like some people like to do, back and buys, or chest and back, or shoulders and back, or shoulders and legs, or, I like to focus on one group and get the fuck out, okay? And that way I can focus more attention on that specific body part, rather than, with it having its own day of dedication, than me having to work chest and back, and it's like, God, it's 2 big ass you know, muscle groups. You know, I'm focused on this T-bar row. Then I gotta go do bench press. Shit. You know what I'm saying? It's no. So just make sure you're intense. All right. And get out. And I think you should be fine. An hour is fine. If you're doing an hour and a half and you're exhausted, leave. Okay? Listen to your body. All right. I hope that this helped. Oh man, subscribers. Woo!